Oh man, I still can't believe he canceled himself that bad. Wow. Out of all the things to take a stand against, this one was probably the worst. Video after video of everybody just canceling him. And I mean, does he deserve it? Kind of. Yeah. The thing that most people make fun of him for is the way he just talks about anything. So he always explains topics in Microsoft Paint or whatever. The way that he just says it with full on confidence just makes it sound like he knows way more than he actually knows. And the fact that he, worked at Blizzard gives an clout, bragging rights to say whatever the fuck he wants within the confines of the gaming industry or whatever. He has more clout than the average gamer. And it's been a topic since, the crew. I've actually been following this since the crew after they canceled that. And then, the community itself started setting up servers so people can still play the game on PC. That was pretty cool. And that is something that I wish more games did for their players. Switch it from dedicated servers to peer to peer. Have something like that, or at least just make a game with single player in mind as a backup for the game going out of business. Suddenly the game disappears and all that money is gone. Well, if that money is gone, technically already spent or whatever, might as well just re-implement a single player prospect or a single player like playthrough that people can just come back into so they can keep playing the game that they purchased. Even if it was in a fucking $5 bin or whatever, you pick the game up because it looked kind of cool and it was super cheap, or your uncle gave it to you for $5 out of a fucking thrift store, whatever it may be. It would be nice if that game fucking worked and you didn't have to worry about a game just disappearing out of nowhere all the time. It just feels like, oh. But yeah, I mean, that is my opinion on that, to be honest. It's super ironic and hilarious that Thor became the poster child for the person we need to fight against in this stand. Not even corporations, just himself. The fact that people hate him so much and they just wanted to cancel him right out of the bat. Like with this, he just gave this movement so much fucking exposure. And because everybody is literally shitting on his take, because let's be honest, it was fucking bad. Oh man. He basically promoted the movement the best anyone could ever promote this movement. Because the original guy who made the whole petition for the EU, he wasn't gonna get that moving until Thor decided to shit on it. Like Jesus Christ, come on. But in the end, I'm just glad that that petition is getting traction because like we gotten a lot of good things from the EU enforcing law legislations on the internet. Like any company that deals or sells on the internet, especially in Europe, they have to abide by this on every side of the spectrum. So everything that has to do with the EU trickles down to the US. And one thing that I liked about that was when our iPhones got USB-Cs, double sided. It was awesome. Fuck the lightning cables. Another thing was cookies being more transparent. So, cookies being more transparent, being the average consumer, I guess, be more aware of like how they are being tracked on the internet. And if you don't want that kind of thing, just being able to say no for obvious reasons. And then just bringing awareness to the fact that you have 100+ cookies tracking you across a bunch of different websites and keeping track of your every move all the time. That's just insane. And I know the average person doesn't give a fuck about cookies and they go to a new website and says, hey, cookies this, cookies that, blah, blah, blah. And they just allow all or whatever. But it's still pretty good for the people who, care about that kind of thing. And it still brings awareness to the new generation of people that are going to grow up with that and realize, wow, this is kind of fucking important. Like I said, I'm just glad that this petition got traction, and I'm hoping that more games in the future are left in a single player playable state for any people that might want to play it in the future after, there's like that nostalgia of like, man, I used to play this game every day. Let's go back into it. And you can actually fucking do that instead of the servers telling you to fuck off. So yeah, yeah. Fantastic Four is coming up at the end of the month. That's gonna be good. I don't know. I'm still not sold on this movie. Let's be honest. It does look very retro, you know, retro futuristic. But I don't know. I do love Pedro Pascal. Like I'll say that right away. Like, he's a great actor. I love him and everything he's in. I don't want it to flop though. I don't want this movie to get so much fucking hate for no reason. Like I'm actually low-key excited. Especially after watching IronHeart, I'm hoping this does really well. Especially because it's gonna set up a lot of, it's gonna set up Secret Wars and Battle World. So if this movie does good, especially in the end after 13, all that stuff, blah blah blah, I think it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I am craving a little more, obviously. So IronHeart, misspelled that super bad. There's not a lot I have to say about this show, really. Armor's cool, you know, a lot of the CG for that was good, you know, it wasn't as intricate as like the Iron Man movies. But after all, this is a TV show. The scene with the hand, that was pretty cool. They gave Adam's family. The scene was hilarious. I love that moment, to be honest. I think this was one of the better episodes. I know it was very action heavy. Ham as a villain. Did I see it coming? Yes. Does he have a lot of motivation? Not really. I still think that this scene right here was one of the best ones in the whole series. Where he just takes off the mask. The whole magic on the armor was very underwhelming. Super underwhelming. I thought there was going to be more. But I was just like, I got magic. Let me do this. Let me do this one trick. And that's it. For him, I really couldn't take him seriously as a bad guy because he just had that mustache, to be honest. I was also low-key upset because I thought he was going to be like the Mephisto the whole time in the MCU. And then I was just like waiting for that to piss me off. And it didn't. Thankfully, I'm fucking thankful. So thankful they got my boy, my wife, Borat to beat Mephisto in the MCU. It's fucking insane. So good. But yeah, the scene where he's just looking into her soul through the helmet. So good. This scene, so good. Really striking fear into her soul. That Loki gave me hope that he was just going to be a good villain. There could have been a little bit more for his character development in that show. Creator Class 3 is over. What? It just announced it.
A couple of months ago.
What?
But they finally posted.
That's insane. I literally didn't know about this until like an hour or two ago. And now it's fucking dead in the last like 30 minutes.
Peach Jar is literally announced.
Literally, I just saw this.
Week. Surprise, see you soon. Tweeted today, man, LOL, I spent $3,000 on an announcement video and paid for 2 months of equipment and travel. The cancellation was supposed to be announced the next day I posted that and they moved it back. The event wasn't even selling tickets, which is a bummer. Time to recruit them for chess boxing. Okay, low key, I tried to make that move.
No.
I had very briefly an opportunity to pitch chess boxing 2. And I thought, you know, this is a good opportunity. I could probably just, you know, take all the cards. Creator Clash would have zero involvement. I would do my own event and then just whoever would want from the Creator Clash 3 to, you know, try chess boxing 2.
That would have been fucking sick, to be honest. That would have been sick.
But unfortunately, the deal that would pay for that fell through. And
oh, wow.
I am not in the business of running events that lose hundreds of thousands of dollars anymore. So I didn't like force it through. Coward?
That's fair.
Maybe. I don't know. I did that.
Hey guys, thank you for watching this ADHD tour. The format for these videos is not supposed to be linear. I kind of wanted to just document my web browsing sessions as I interact with the content I consume. It feels pretty much like Twitch, to be honest. But yeah, thank you guys if you made it this far.